Hello, angels. Let's talk about Wicked. What do you think? So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet or you don't know the story and you're planning to, you may not want to listen to this yet because definitely going into some stuff that would give some stuff away. So, first of all, I have talked a lot in the past about how the stories we tell ourselves, are super important because we tend to believe them. But our collective narratives and our collective stories are also very, very important. They often act as a mirror. We have long used myth, parable, fable, story to illuminate ideas. People often hear ideas and difficult truths in story more readily than just straight out, right? But I do want to spend a little bit of time unpacking the narrative of Wicked. And I absolutely, first of all, I just want to say, huge fan. I've been a huge fan for a long time. Saw it on the stage for the first time probably 20 years ago. We saw it several times in London. And peace up to Bill Rosenbaum, who he and Jeffrey once gave us tickets when they couldn't go that they had, which were the best tickets we ever had. So anyway, little shout out there to my old friend who is now crossed the veil. So first of all, to talk the first one, and I made you a series of these because there's a lot to unpack, but I'm going to go for the obvious first, and that's Glinda and Elphaba, right? So at the beginning of the movie, Glinda is beautiful, and because she's so beautiful and winsome and entertaining, everybody assumes that she's good, right? But really, she's kind of empty. There's really nothing substantive there. She's like all show, all flash, and no substance, right? And that bothers her. And we get a little bit of that in the second half of the show or the second movie when we see her as a child. Because what her heart's desire, what she really, really wants is to be magical. She wants that power. She does not appreciate the power that she does have, which is the fact that she's beautiful and popular and that people assume that she's good. So she just becomes very, very selfish. This changes when she meets Elphaba. Now, Elphaba has been the outcast from the very beginning. Because she has green skin, because she has weird powers and weird things happen around her that don't seem to be controllable, because her mother has passed on and her father hates her, she is assumed to be bad. She is assumed to be wicked, even from the beginning, even before she gets the name the Wicked Witch in the second half. So, first of all, setting that up, that somebody who looks good, is assumed to be good, and someone who looks bad is assumed to be bad, to be wicked. That changes when the two of them meet. And at first, of course, because they are polar opposites, or at least it seems that way, they dislike each other immensely. Glinda goes so far as to play a really cruel trick on Elphaba and invites her to a party, telling her to wear her weird hat as if it's going to be something really nice and as if it's going to be something unique about her that people will appreciate and that looks good. That causes Elphaba, who is pure of heart and very substantive, right? But she longs for love and connection, right? What Elphaba wants is love and connection. What Glinda wants is power and magic. So their intentions are not necessarily pure, although the Elphabas may seem to be more pure at the beginning. They both want things they don't have. Elphaba is pure of heart, and she wants that love and connection, and she also knows that Glinda wants more than anything else to be magical, to learn to use magic. So Elphaba goes to Madame Morrible and gets her to offer lessons to Glinda, which she had refused to do before. Glinda then realizes her mistake and what she's done. And it's through Elphaba's vulnerability and her strength, right? Elphaba doesn't turn and run when Elphaba realizes she's been duped and she's being made fun of yet again. This is the story of her whole life, and it has not changed. That's too much for Glinda. That's the very first time that Glinda, in the dance at the Oz Dust Ballroom, That's the very first time that Glinda uses her beauty and her power for good, right? Because she has the power to make people accept Elphaba. And that's what she does, at least to some degree. Not totally, but it's the first glimmer that there might be something else underneath all the glitz that you see out of Glinda, right? So from there, what happens is they go off to meet the wizard. Elphaba, who wants more than anything to be accepted, to be pleasing to other people, to have connection. So she thinks her green skin is the thing that's in the way. She wants that so badly, and she wants to impress the wizard so badly because she's so sure that the wizard is going to be able to solve her problem, right? So she's gone to the guru to solve her problem, right? She goes to him and uses her powers without understanding what she's doing and without pure intention. So she's using magic without pure intention because her intention is to impress the wizard and Madame Morrible so that they will help her, right? So that she will now be accepted. That causes great harm. And I just want to back up and emphasize that anytime we use any power that we have without pure intention, whether that is a magical power, or our power of popularity, or our power of beauty, or our power of influence, or money, or whatever we have, if we use it without pure intention, we can do unimaginable harm. And that's what happens. Elphaba opens the magical book, the Grimoire, and she speaks a spell, and the monkeys go through a transformation that grows wings but causes them great pain and is not something that they wanted, nor is it something that she intended. She realizes that she's been used. She realizes that the wizard is a fake and has no power, and that Madame Morrible has some power but not as much as she wants, and that she's been a puppet. So she rejects them both, and she runs off to be a rebel, essentially, right? Now, her intentions, just like Glinda's, are still not completely pure, because now she wants to use her power to convince everyone that the wizard is a liar and that he's fake, and to become the hero of Oz, right? She wants to save the animals and save Oz from the wizard, and then she feels like she will finally be popular and be justified and people will love her, right? So she's still looking for that love and approbation. So is Glinda, in her own way. So she is compromising her morals and looking the other way and pretending that she's not seeing what she's seeing as the wizard and Madame Morrible go after Elphaba, who is her friend, has been her friend, and which she claims to feel bad about. And Fiyero is constantly asking her, wait, how can you do this? Let's go join Elphaba. And Glinda's like, no, I can't do that, because Glinda loves the approbation and she's too scared that she doesn't have any power other than her beauty and her popularity. She believes what she's been told. She believes the story she's been told, that she does not have magic and she is not magical, right? She has no real power other than her beauty and her popularity. She's decided to believe that story. And so she wants to stay where she knows she's going to be okay, where she can be popular, where she can be comfortable, where she has her beautiful penthouse and everybody serving her and loving her and calling her Glinda the Good. Now, on the other side, Elphaba is doing a similar thing, right? She is acting without pure intention, and she has also believed the story she's been told in a way. You are not lovable. You are not worth connecting to. And so she is pursuing her own ends to prove that she is lovable, because she's also decided to believe that story. The turning point comes when Nessa is killed because of Glinda's selfishness and heartache. She makes a suggestion. She does not intend for Nessa to be killed, but then she realizes just how far her morals will have to be compromised in order for her to get what she really wants, in order to get what she wants. And if she can't have magic, she at least wants to be popular and considered Glinda the Good. But she realizes that's going to mean she's going to have to become a Madame Morrible. She's going to have to check her morals at the door, and she's not capable of doing that. So she goes off to warn Elphaba. Just before that happens, Elphaba believes that Fiyero has died, her only chance for love and connection at that point. So she finally owns herself. She finally says, okay, I surrender. I am wicked. I am all that you say that I am. But the moment that she accepts her weirdness, her magic, her green skin, the fact that she's tried to do good and it's gone nowhere for her, she just keeps getting blamed no matter what she tries to do. She tries to save Bach. He turns into the Tin Man and he hates her. It doesn't, the cowardly lion the cub that she rescued as a baby, he hates her. They've all turned against her no matter what she's done to try to help them. Right? Except the monkeys, by the way, because the winged monkeys have realized that she didn't do that intentionally. They're like the flying witnesses. They call them spies, but they're really witnesses because they're watching this whole thing unfold, and they are the ones who choose the side and realize they see everything. And that's an important little piece to keep in mind. Anyway, Elphaba, once she fully accepts herself and loves herself in a weird way. They have to kind of push the show, right? But once she accepts that people are never going to love her that way, the way she wants to be, once she gives up being a people pleaser, that's the most important thing. Once she gives up being a people pleaser, she finds real love and connection with the scarecrow / Fiero, right? It turns out he hasn't died. She did save him. He became a scarecrow instead of dying. And then she goes off into the ethers with Fiero, having that love and connection that she always wanted. Because she has accepted herself, she has pure intention now. She has her heart's desire, which was not to lose her green skin, but was to be loved for who she truly is, a woman who is pure of heart, right? And then we go back to Glinda. Glinda has now made the turn. And let me back up a little bit. Elphaba says to Glinda in their last meeting, good has to be more than a word. It has to stand for something. It has to change things. And that, I think, is when Glinda finally fully gets it. She goes back. Oh, and also Elphaba tells her, don't try to rehabilitate my reputation, because she has truly let go of being worried about what other people think. Not worried about what other people think. Just putting emphasis on that. Glinda goes back, and then Glinda understands, I can do good. I can use my popularity. I can use my beauty. I can use this for good. If I tell people the animals are fine, and she sends the wizard off, and she gets rid of Madame Morrible, the monkeys help her get rid of Madame Morrible. She gets rid of the bad guys. And then she realizes, I can take this power. I have ability. I don't have to believe the stories that Madame Morrible has been telling me about how I have nothing and I'm no good and I have no magical powers. She decides, okay, these are my magical powers. And then, because she has pure intentions at the end, the Grimoire, the magical book that Elphaba had given to Glinda in their last meeting, opens for her and she's able to read it. Because her intentions were pure. She no longer wants that magic for selfish reasons, for show, to get approbation from the crowd. She already gets that. She doesn't need that. So now she can use the magic truly for good. And I'm going to leave you with that because we've already gone for 13 minutes and that's more than long enough if you stuck with me this long. But I do love that. I love that in the end, they get their heart's desire because their intentions become pure. They get the love and Elphaba gets the love and connection that she wants. And Glinda gets those magical powers because she understands it's important to use them for good. Be careful of the stories you tell yourself. That's in this. Also, be aware of our collective narratives and what things they may be trying to tell us, because it might be something we need to hear. Mwah! Love you. Bye.